Throughout the past year, many people have witnessed a roster of presenters leave the BBC. The recent exodus has seen a number of well-known names venture elsewhere to do a series of different projects from podcasts to radio shows. BBC's Naga Munchetty has touched on the tumultuous time that the company is currently facing. Currently, the BBC is facing an extraordinary exodus, with many high-profile names deciding to leave the broadcaster to work on ventures elsewhere. With presenters from both TV and radio joining places such as Channel 5, Talk TV and GB News, it's a worrying time for the BBC, with a decrease of hosts leaving. Names such as Vanessa Feltz, Simon Mayo, Andrew Marr, Peter Crouch, Paul O'Grady and Sue Barker are some of the most well-known people who have all decided to ditch the BBC to go elsewhere. Long-standing presenter Emily Maitlis announced that after joining the broadcaster back in 2001, she and John Sopel will be joining Global to start a podcast on LBC Radio. More recently, BBC Breakfast fans bid farewell to host Dan Walker after he decided to move across to Channel 5 for a flagship news programme. Despite the long list of people opting to leave the broadcaster, there are many familiar faces who have remained, including Dan's former co-star Naga Munchetty. When asked what she would do if she were the Director General of the BBC for the day, currently a position held by Tim Davie, she told Radio Times what she'd change in light of the recent exodus. Naga commented, "The obvious thing is more revenue to be able to keep more jobs. We're going to lose brilliant journalists. I'm not talking about on air, that's a fraction of it. It's the group behind the scenes. I'm not saying the DG hasn't looked for money, everyone's having to cut costs and it's a shame. But it's the reality." Touching on whether or not her job is more challenging due to the scrutiny on social media, the 47-year-old commented that it's ever-present due to everybody watching online having an opinion. The BBC Breakfast host stated that although it doesn't change how she acts, presenters are always aware. She added, "People will pick up on one small thing that you may or may not have said, and interpret it, and then it goes round. Not that it stops me from doing my job." Naga first joined the BBC back in 2008 before becoming a lead presenter on BBC Breakfast in 2014. Viewers usually see the anchor co-host the show alongside Charlie State, although she has also fronted the show with Roger Johnson and Dan Walker before he left the broadcaster. In 2020, Naga succeeded Emma Barnett by hosting a mid-morning program on Radio 5 Live. At the time of the announcement, the presenter admitted she had always wanted to delve more into radio alongside her long-standing TV career. She said, "Radio 5 Live has one of the most passionate, engaged audiences in radio. The prospect of talking to those listeners every week really excites me." BBC Breakfast airs weekdays on BBC One from 6 a.m.